Hey, friends. Welcome to the Nope Coach podcast. I'm your host, Suzanne Kohlberg. Episode 30, Collecting Evidence. Before I dive into it, if this is the first time you're listening to this show, we are not talking about forensics. I just realized with the topic of collecting evidence, it could sound like a whole different kind of show. What I mean is, when we are looking to make changes in our lives, our brain is very good at collecting evidence for why this won't work. So, say, for example, you're wanting to release weight or get fit, write a book, start a business. Chances are this isn't your first rodeo. You've wanted to make this change, start this thing, create this thing before. And what can happen is your brain can be really good at collecting and displaying evidence to you for why this won't work. If it's a releasing weight thing, I've tried diets so many times before. Why would this time be any different? I've done the insert name of thing that you've tried. If it's starting a business, it could be like, I created a website once and nobody came to it, or I had business cards and nobody rang me. If it's writing a book, it's like, I have Google folders full of one sentence things that never become anything, and so on and so forth. So our brains are very good at collecting, displaying, reminding us of evidence of things that haven't turned out well. My invitation for you today is to flip it on its head and collect evidence for the good things. What I mean by this is, how often does somebody pay you a compliment that you just dismiss offhand, you never fully receive? They might be like, oh, you look lovely today. Oh, this old thing. Or I really appreciated something that you did. Oh, it was nothing. Or you shouldn't have. Or it's no big deal. Or, we dismiss. We don't even receive. And when we're wanting to make changes in our lives, release weight, get fit, start a business, make money, meet the partner, you name it, when we seem so far away from where we want to be, we're like, here I am now, and this is my goal, and I have no idea how I'm going to get there. It's so far away. One of the best ways is collecting evidence of what you already have. And this may seem so counterintuitive. You're like, but it's so far away. We are looking at the gap between where we are now and where we want to be. And the more we inadvertently collect evidence for how far away the thing is, the further it seems to be. It's like the mirage or the horizon that we never reach. So instead, if you flip that on its head and collect evidence, so say it's about releasing weight. I can speak really well to this because I've written a book called The Beginning of Shit. If you haven't checked it out yet, highly recommend. You can pick it up from most book places, Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Abe Books, Booktopia, Angus Robertson, so on and so forth. When you're searching for it, make sure you type in Suzanne Kohlberg, SUZANNECULBERG, because, I've said this before, but if you're new and you haven't heard me, when you put a swear word in the title, beginning of shit, and you put an asterisk because you're trying to be clever, makes it hard to search for. Anyway, in the book, I speak about, not all, because then it would have been a tome rather than a book, but many of my weight loss attempts. And every time I try something new, this is going to be the thing. Weight Watchers, Tony Ferguson, Fat Camp, you name it, I did it. It was always, I was never enough. And this thing's going to save me. Where I flipped, part of the thing for lasting weight release was collecting evidence of where I was already enough. Because we think that when we reach the goal, we're magically going to be happy or more content or confident or you name it. In reality, we're still us. If it's a weight release goal, we just physically take up less space. So collect evidence. Where is your body already enough? Like the simplest things. My body grew and birthed, though with a lot of assistance, but still 2 humans. That's pretty amazing of what my body could do. No matter what I fed it, no matter how little sleep I gave it, no matter how little I moved it, how little movement I did, my body still showed up for me and turned up for me and turned that whatever shit I was feeding it into fuel. The more I could appreciate the body I had for what it was, where it was at the moment, the easier it was to take action to nourish it, to nurture it. Other examples, if you're trying to expand your financial capacity, if you're trying to save money and you're looking at all the things that you want that you can't afford yet or you don't have the money for, all you see is gap, 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 gap. It's actually a book, I think it's by Dan Sullivan and Benjamin Harvey. Don't quote me on the authors, but the book's called The Gap and the Gain. And they speak to this very concept about where we want to go. If we look at the gap, how far away it is from where we are now, it always seems to expand and get further. But when you live in the gain, this is my equivalent of collecting evidence, then you find more gain, you find more evidence, and bridging that gap becomes easier because you live in what you already have. So if it's a money goal, where do you already have enough? Like your goal might be buy your dream house, go on a world cruise, fly first class. I don't know. Your goal's your goal. And you're like, well, right now I have enough in my account to get to the end of the block. But you have enough for right now. Your bills are covered. You have a roof over your head. You have enough food. Collect evidence of that. Another example, if you're trying to build confidence, you want to start a business, you want to do public speaking, you want to, whatever it is, and you're like, well, I'm shy and quiet and introverted and who wants to hear me speak and whatever, like all the thoughts that go through our head. Look at the compliments you're already receiving and actually receive them. If someone says, hey, I love your outfit, thank you so much, I receive that. If you do something already, like you send a newsletter or you post on social media and you get a comment and someone's like, thank you, I needed this today. Screenshot that, save that. This is something I teach in my Why Wait program. Create a folder on your phone called Nice Things People Say and screenshot the comments, screenshot the emails, don't even know. Oh, I pick my kids up. I have to wrap this up. Screenshot all of this so that you have your evidence. And then on the days where you're feeling low, when you're feeling down, when you're feeling unsure, when you need that little pick-me-up, open your phone, go to that folder and read over that evidence. Remind your brain, when your brain's busy collecting evidence of why this won't work and how it hasn't worked before and why will this time be any different. Show your brain, look, I am already so much further along than I give myself credit for. And this is being seen and witnessed and reflected back to me by others. Showing ourselves evidence of our genius, or she-nius, as you may say the phrase, is often overcoming the conditioning of not enoughness, overcoming the conditioning of don't be too big for your britches and don't be cocky or whatever, but showing ourselves that we are already doing this, we're already on our way, is so powerful, because the moments of doubt, the moments of uncertainty, unsureness, they happen. It's just that we don't unpack and live there. We use that to propel ourselves forward. So in what way are you going to, as a result of listening to this episode, collect evidence for you? And how does it feel to do that, to like remind yourself, hey, I'm pretty freaking awesome? Let me know. Send me an email, info@suzannekohlberg.com. I'd love to hear. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.